Hi there, Jamie Keat here today at Teachers Tech. Hope you're having a great day today. Today I want to show you Filmora9. Now this, I must say, is one of the easiest video editors I've seen. It's not a free one. You do have to pay $60 if you want the non-watermark on it, but you can download it for free and test everything out on it to see if you like it. If you are looking for something free, I'll put links to other tutorials I have on free video editors, but if you don't mind paying a little bit, this is a great one to use. Extremely easy and can give you great results for many things, from doing personal videos or uploading to YouTube. So this tutorial will go through the basics of using Filmora9. I'll timestamp everything down below so you can jump around to different parts. So just take a look at the descriptions for those, and plus I'll add the link to Filmora down below too, so you can go to the site and check it out. So let's get started on this tutorial today with Filmora9. So I'm just going to start right away opening up Filmora9, and you can see I'll be working out of this video folder with video assets and media assets that I have down below here. When Filmora opens up, it will prompt you to create a new project, or it will also show you a list of different ones that you have saved before. So like for this one, I could open this up, or you could open other projects by looking. I'm going to just hit new project for the example today. You can see how Filmora9 just pops open. Right away, before I go on, I'm using Windows 10 today, but if you're on other operating systems such as Mac, Filmora9 will also work. I'm going to import my my media right away. So just by clicking on this one, it's going to open up to a folder that I can find. So I know in this case I'm going to be on my desktop, and I should have a Filmora folder right there. I could bring one video in at a time and hit open, and you can see how it goes in here, or I could bring multiple ones. So if I right click now and go to view, I could go to import, and I could bring more in. So I could select multiple ones and hit open. And another way I could do it, would be go to file, and you can see under the all the file menus, all the different things. So do check out all the different options you have up there too. But import media, and let's say I wanted to bring in the rest of these, so you can see all the different ones I brought in. To take a quick look, notice that the icon in the top right hand corner, this shows that it's video. This one shows that it's an image, and this one shows that it is audio. I can take a different look at this. If I didn't want these thumbnails, large thumbnails, I can click here and go to a different view. Let's say I wanted the list view just with the names and the size of everything, or I could switch to a different view with the thumbnail size. For the tutorial today, I'm going to be using the large thumbnail view. Now that I've got everything in, I always like to save things right away as you start, like as I start from the very beginning. So just go up here, File, Save Project, and in this you can see I have example video here. So I'm just going to call this tutorial here, and go ahead and hit save. And then as I go along and work on it, I'll just be able to save the project as I go through it. So just in case something crashes on you, you can be backed up that way. Now I want to bring things quickly down to my timeline. Filmora makes it very easy to do this. If I just hover over, I can hit the plus right away, and it's going to bring it down. It's saying that this isn't matching the settings, and I'm just going to say match to media on this one, and you can see it got brought down. In this case here, there's audio underneath it, and if I drag this back, I can hear it's going to be a bit of the waves. And I have just the video on top. If you don't want it, you could go ahead and hit delete, and it's gone. The other thing is you can view any of these videos just by double clicking on them without bringing them down to the timeline. So you can just view it here. If you want to see what each one is, go ahead and just double click on it, and you could listen to the audio doing the same way. Now I'm going to bring this back down. I hit the plus the first time. You could just drag if you wanted to also. So if you want to drag your videos down, you can do this. And the other thing is you can zoom up and zoom out on it depending on when you're working on it. So if you want to say zoom up on a specific part to get closer, you can see as I increase it this way or bring it back the other way. I can also just say fit to the screen, so it's going to go across the timeline in just that simple click to it. I can also just drag in here, so inside the timeline, just click and hold on your mouse and you can see how I can adjust it in a hurry like that. So let's bring in some more videos. So I get the one video down below here. I want to bring in a second one. And notice that where I have the playhead over here at the beginning, if I hit the plus now, that's where the next video gets put into it. So it puts it in front of it. So if I'm going to zoom out so you can see more. And I'm going to bring this over to here. And if I hit this next one, you notice there's a gap between it because that's where I had it listed and that's where it's going to go. So you can set up your playhead, then hit the plus, and then it's going to go to that spot. If you wanted to get rid of this gap, all you have to do is just simply drag over and it's going to snap to it like so. I can bring in multiple things too. So if I wanted to, let's say, bring these 3 things in, so this is audio and I have an image and I also have another video. I'm going to bring these 3 things in at once. I'm going to drag them down and you see there's the image and then there's the other video and the audio here. So if I play it, like so. So if you did want to bring everything down at once, it's very easy to do just by selecting them. Now that you've brought things down, you can move things around very quickly. If I wanted this to be in a different order, just select it and grab it and drag it, and you can move things around to get in the exact order that you want. You can create new tracks very easy. Just drag things up. It actually already created the one when I brought in the other video, but if I wanted another 3rd track, you can see it creates them right on the side here. So if you do like working in the multiple tracks and keeping sort of your videos, that's the way I like to do it. But you can just drag them up and it'll automatically create, or you can hit the plus here and you'll see the option add video track, add audio track right through here. So that's how you can quickly bring in your audio, your video, your pictures into this and just start sorting things out on your timeline. So let's start some basic editing here. I'm going to go ahead and bring one of the videos, this one, I'm just going to hit the plus and bring it down to my video 1 track. And I'm going to do some trimming on this one. So different ways I can do this. This is about 26 seconds long, this one. So let's say there's something on the end that I don't want. What I can do is if I bring my mouse to this, I can drag in and trim the end off of it. So I can also do this also from the other side. I could drag it in. So I've cut from the one end, the end of it, and also from the beginning. So if you want to trim that, it's very easy. Now another thing to remember is the undo button right over here. If you've done some editing and realize you don't want it, just go ahead and hit the undo. You also have your redo here too. The other way I like to do editing is just with the clip tool right here, so the split tool. And what you do is if you drag your playhead to a certain spot and you just go ahead and hit clip, it cuts it right there. So if you wanted something out in the middle of this, I could go and maybe if I knew it was there, the other piece, I could go ahead and clip it. Now I have this piece here. You can see as I drag it up, I could delete this one. So if there was some editing that you filmed and you wanted to cut something out in the middle, and then bring your 2 video clips together like so. And then it would just have that part out of it. So you can do some really quick editing there. Now I'm just going to go ahead and delete these 2. So I've selected both of them. I'm going to bring in this Teacher's Tech intro that I use here. I'm going to match to media. And when I hit play, you can see it's very slow, and so I need to adjust the time on this one. And there's also the speed right here. So if I go ahead and I could go slow, do I want it faster? I'm going to go to custom speed here, and I'm going to just drag it. So if I want it to be, you can see if I want it to be faster, I want this to be about 3 seconds here. So I could increase this to get it to the point where I want it to. So maybe I'm just going to click in here and actually put a number in. So I'm going to put 6 in here. If I don't like that, I'm going to go 5. So now it's about 2 seconds long, so I'm going to go 4, and you can see how I can adjust it and start getting the way I want it to. So there's my 3 seconds. I'm just going to hit OK. Nothing clipped out of it, but what it did was speed it up. So if I go ahead and play this again, you can see it's running at a much faster pace. So those are some kind of the basic editing that you can do in Filmora. You can see how quick it is. Another thing that I'm going to show you is the crop tool. So if I go ahead and let's say take this video again that I was using, and I want to zoom up on a certain area. So let's say these two people walking on the beach. This crop tool here, if I click on it, I can go ahead and pick an area. So if I just want to focus on them, I'm going to zoom up even more. In the aspect ratio, keep it the same. So hit OK, and then you notice it zoomed up. So now I can go ahead and hit play, and I'm zoomed right up. So that crop is a very easy tool to use, just like all of these, between the simple editing that you can do and then just lining up everything the way you want in the tracks that you have set up. So you can see how easy Filmora 9 is to edit in. So let's work with a little audio now. First of all, I'm going to drag or put this one down into my timeline here. And this one I showed you before. It actually, you can see the audio that's attached to this video, and it's just the waves. So maybe you don't want that audio to sound to play during it. So what you can do, if I right click on any of these clips, you're going to see that you have lots of different options that you can do with this. So I could mute this, but what I want to do is detach the audio. And what it does is it takes it away from the video and puts it into the Audio 1 soundtrack. So now what I can do at that point is just go ahead. If I didn't want that at all, let's say I'm going to put some music in, I can just go ahead and delete this. So it's very easy just to right click, detach the audio, and then delete it. Do check out all the features that you have on your right screen, on your right click on it. Many of these features are going to be different ones that I show you, but it's just a quick way to get them. And then you can look at all the shortcuts right beside, like just down the right hand column. Now, if I was going to put in, I'm going to put in a few more videos here just to line things up. I'm going to put in some more audio here. I'll just snap that one close together and move it over here. The one thing I wanted to note when you're editing, if you drag it over top, it actually clips away the one video that you drag it over top of. So you can see I brought it over top of it. Now it's going to be clipped on that one. Now I'm going to bring in audio. You saw me bring in audio from before. I have this Wicked Surf one. I can add it, and it puts it down here below. Actually, I want this lined up, so I'm going to drag it over again, and I'm just going to bring it back to here and play. All right, so that's really loud. What I can do at that point is go over here to the audio mixer. If I click on it, what I'm gonna do is bring down. You can see all the different ones that I have. I have that on Audio 1, so it's this one. So I can adjust each track differently depending on how I want the audio to sound. But this is much too loud here, so I'm gonna hit play. From here, you can hear now it's a lot quieter here, so maybe I want to bring it down. Maybe I just want it so subtle. You can also do the master one here, which would bring everything. So I'm just going to hit OK. Now if I hit play again, it's much quieter here. So that's how you can adjust some audio. Other things I want to note with the audio here would be just going up here. So I brought my own audio in here, but you can see that there's a lot of different ones here too. So if I go ahead and bring in, I'm just going to bring in this one. I'm not sure what it sounds like. And again, I drug it down. I could have just hit the plus on it. So it's downloading the content, because a lot of with Filmora, it connects and then downloads it. I'm going to delete this one right here and hit play. And I have this audio in here. So there's lots of different options with the audio here. You can bring in your own or use what Filmora has for you too that you can bring in. They have lots of good tunes that will help you with your video editing. Now, so that just shows you a little bit about the audio. Very simple to use, just like all the other Filmora aspects. So let's go ahead and add some titles now. I've already showed you audio that are here. If I move across, titles are right here. And they have this big list of different titles that you can look at. I'm just going to pick a simple one for this one, this right here, this preset. So if I go ahead and hit plus, it's going to add it to where my playhead is here. So if I hit plus, you can see it jumps in right there. To see what this looks like, if I just rewind a bit, hit play, and you can see the title comes in. Now, I don't want it to say directed by Jane Doe, so what I'm going to do is just double click on this. So when I double click on this, I have the options to start editing. So right away I wanted to say something else, and I'll just say hello, and I'll go to the second line here, and I'll just say everyone. I can change the text on this quickly. So if I go through, you can see the long list. I'll just change it to there. I'll make sure you can see this as I change it, and I can change the size of the font, and you can see the other options that I have. So if I go ahead and hit play now, you can see it kind of grow through there. I can also change the animation to this one. So if I wanted to, you can kind of see the list. If I find something I like, I can go ahead and go to it. If I want this one, just double click on it, and it's applying that animation to it. You can also go over here to the preset, and you have the list of colors. I could change the color, text spacing, and everything down here, but quickly I could add this, and I'll hit just OK now. And you can see I have this new text that will come up. Probably not the best one to use because it's so because it matches the colors and doesn't show up. So if I wanted to go to edit here and change it to the yellow, I can make that change, hit OK. So now it's going to stand out a lot better to it. So very quickly you can add those titles. You can move these titles all around too. So if I didn't want it there, I can drag it to a different spot to it. I could move it to a different layer. If you're looking even for more different ones, you can go up here to the effects store, click on that, and you can connect, and there's ones for free and ones you can purchase. I am going to do a little bit of a different video. I'm going to open this up just on the advanced features here, where you can go through and add a few more features to get it more exact, but I'll save that for a different time. So that's how you can add some text to your video very quickly and easily inside Filmora. Looking beside the titles, you're going to find transitions. So right through here, where you're going to use transitions are between different video clips or images that you have. Now to do so, I'm going to select the clip that I want, and I'm just going to have this one in the middle right here, and I'm going to select it. You can see that there's the green line around it, and I'll just use, maybe I'll just do this split one right here. So I'm going to hit the plus, and you can see what it did. It added the transition to each end, and I'm going to show you how to modify these two. So what does it look like? I'll just go actually in between these two right here, and I'll hit play. And just like that. Now you can go through and change these. If I wanted to stretch, if I want a longer transition, I can stretch this out like so. And if I hit play, now it's going to be slower, longer transition. I can double click on this. So if I double click on this, I get some options. So maybe I want it to be between the two clips. So if I go ahead like this and hit overlap, you can see now it moved in between the two clips. I can change my my timing right up here. So if I wanted it shorter, and I can also click apply to all. I'm just going to leave it like this one right now, hit OK. Now if I hit my play, you can see it right through here. I can go back and make my adjustments through here if I wanted it shorter also. And you can also delete. Maybe I don't want this front transition like right here, and I go ahead and hit delete, and I go through. So if I wanted to bring down more media, so if I was bringing down another one here, I can go ahead and select my transitions that I want just by going up and then bringing them down. I can drag them down also, just like what I showed you with the other ones, or hit the plus and go through and modify it the way you like. Let's dive into the effects now. Now after transitions, you can see a little star up here. I'm going to select it. You can see all these custom effects that are already created, and you just have to add it to it. Now you can preview any of these ones. So if this B&W noise here, if I double click it, you can see it gives me an example of what it looks like here. But you probably want to see what it looks like on your own. So what you can do is, so if I click on a clip, so maybe this one here, and then I go ahead and double click on this now, just wait a second, and then what you're going to get is the actual clip with that effect added on it. It hasn't added to it yet, it's just giving you a preview. So if you like what you see at that point, you can hit the plus to it. And now remember, it went down here because that's where I had my playhead. So if I drag this, I wanted it on this one, I can bring it back over. So just in case you brought it to the wrong spot. So if I go ahead and hit play now, you can see that it will stop when that ends. So I can grab the ends of this and stretch this out here to be longer. If I wanted to be the whole clip or different parts of the clip, I can stretch it out that way. You can also double click on it, and then you can also adjust if you didn't want it maybe the alpha so powerful, you can hit OK, and then it will just have that slight look to it. Again, you can delete any of these if you would like to, or you can add, remember to have the clip open if you want to preview it, to go ahead and double click if you like it, and then add it after that. Now down below you also have your overlays. So overlays will work on another layer on top. So if I wanted to, for example, to add a frame to this, you can see all the different ones here. I could go through the list and try to find exactly what I want, but I'm just going to add, let's say, this blue one right here. So I'm going to want it on this one. I can preview it again on it. So I'm going to double click on this one, and actually I'm going to watch, you can see it's loading up, and then it's going to preview what this might look like. If I like what I want, I'm going to move my playhead over and then add it here, and I've added, now I'll hit play, and I've added this frame to it. You can see it's a video frame too with the edges moving, and again I can stretch this out so it's longer. So you can see that these effects are very easy to add. You can go through, and again, like any of the other ones that I've showed you, you can go to the effects store and even get more from there. But go ahead and just start playing with these basic ones to add a lot of customization to your videos. Before we get to our exporting of our video, I just want to show you the elements features too. So this kind of works like effects here. It's the last part right here. You have these number of different things that you can bring over in a different layer. You can see that you can go through the list and check them out through here. I just have it listed as all, and I'll just go through and show you. Let's say I want to put this one here. So I want to bring my playhead over here, and I'm just going to hit the new one. Plus it's going to download it, and then I have this badge over top of it that you can see if I hit play, that's added to it. So you can go ahead and add these elements to it. If you want more elements, or if you want more of the all the different effects, go up to the top right hand corner and you can look at this right up here, the download. And when you do purchase, or when you are using it, you can log into your account and you can have all these popular effects. If I scroll down a little bit, you can see they have free ones too. So if I wanted the emoji one, I could download it, and it's going to add it to my effects here. So if I close out of this, you can see all these in my elements, all these emojis were just added to it that quickly, and then I can go ahead and add it to it. So go through, and some are free and some you have to purchase, but it gives you a lot of options to add even more to it. So that kind of sums up kind of the intro part to Filmora that I want to show you. I'm going to have other videos on things like using your green screen with it and recording, using the sound recording and screen capture on it. So it can do a lot more than just your basic editing Filmora. So make sure you check out later. But let's get to our export function now, to how do we get this to save this to our desktop as a video or upload it to YouTube. So let's say you've finished up your video and you want to export it as a finished video. We've saved our project as we went along, but that's a little bit different. We want to be able to upload this to YouTube or save it as a video on our computer. You can see that the export is right here, or you have export right here, and they'll bring you to the same thing. So I'm just going to hit export, and you can see it kind of defaulted to the YouTube setting. If I wanted to save it just on my computer, what I would do is go through and pick the format that I wanted. So let's say maybe I want it as an MP4. I would give it a name right here. I would find the location. Where do I want to save this? You go and find your path, and then you can go ahead and your settings. You can see there now this is a high def at 1920 by 1080. You do have your settings that you can adjust through this one. But for me, a lot of the videos that I make, I'd want to go directly to YouTube. And what it does for me through this part is that you can sign into YouTube. So I could give it my title. So I'm just going to say test, and the quality is what I wanted at 1920 by 1080. And I could give it a description. A lot of times when I upload to YouTube, what I do is I keep it private at first, and then I change it to make sure I'll write my description and everything. But then what I do is the export here, and then it's going to say please sign in to your YouTube channel. So then at that point you just put in your sign in credentials on YouTube, and it's going to upload it right to YouTube. So that gives an easy path. But the other way, you can see we have options of DVD, Vimeo, and the different devices here. But I know for a lot of you, it's either going to be saving it to local or to YouTube. So Filmora can still do other things too. So I'll have some more videos coming out on some of the other features. It's a very easy product to use. Check out the links down below for other options or other video editors too. Thanks for watching this time, and I'll see you next week on Teachers Tech.